Today's topic is cholesterol. Cholesterol is a waxy substance. It is a waxy, a fat-like substance, so which is present in all tissues of the body, right? So it is not only present in a particular tissue; it is present in all tissues. Okay, it gets synthesized, but mostly this cholesterol which is present in liver and intestine. Okay, the main organ for the production of this cholesterol is liver and intestine, where it will be synthesized and then it gets transported. Cholesterol will be getting transported to the or to all tissues. The main synthesizing organ will be liver and intestine. So actually this cholesterol which is there in the cell membrane, the main location of this cholesterol is a cell membrane. So it is present in all cell membranes. And here cell membrane is having many important components. Cell membrane has phospholipids and proteins and cholesterol. So cholesterol is one of the important component which is present in the cell membrane. So these phospholipids which is having two heads. So one is phosphate head, so which is hydrophilic in nature, and fatty acid tail will be there. This is called non-polar or hydrophobic in nature, right? So every cell membrane is made up of a phospholipid, a bilayer phospholipids. So in which the tail position, at this tail position, cholesterol will be located. It is a waxy like substance, right? So what is the significance of this cholesterol? So cholesterol is useful for maintaining the fluidity of cell membrane. So cell membrane is getting the fluidity nature due to presence of cholesterol, and it is a fat waxy like substance. So that's why the cell membrane will be exist at higher temperatures. So at variable temperatures, this cholesterol will be very stable. So that's why here the plasma, sorry, cell membrane is getting a fluidity at variable temperatures. And this cholesterol is also present in the cell membrane. So that's why it is maintaining the integrity of cell membrane. It is acting like a cement in between the bricks, right? It maintains the integrity of the cell membrane. So that's why cholesterol synthesis is very much important in our body, right? And due to presence of this cholesterol here, it gets the cell membrane will be getting the fluidity nature. So that's why so many organisms so will be changing their shape rapidly due to presence of cholesterol. For example, bacteria. So bacterial cell membrane is having cholesterol. So due to presence of this cholesterol, the bacterial cell membrane will be getting a fluid nature, right? So this cholesterol is a waxy and fat-like substance, so which will be present in the which will be synthesized in the liver and intestine. These are the main important organs, but it gets transported through blood lipoproteins. So why? Because it cannot transfer by itself. It need a carrier. Okay, so cholesterol needs a carrier. So here the carrier molecules will be blood lipoproteins. So what are blood lipoproteins? So we have three types of blood lipoproteins. So one is HDL, high density lipoprotein. Write down HDL, high density lipoprotein, LDL, low density lipoprotein, and VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. These are the carriers, so which carries the cholesterol from liver and intestine to peripheral tissues, right? So why? Because cholesterol is mainly synthesized in the liver. Okay, okay. So how this cholesterol will be synthesized? Actually, we are this is not is there in our syllabus, so that's why I'm not going in detail for the synthesis of cholesterol. Okay, but here we need to know about few important things, that cholesterol will be synthesized from acetyl coenzyme. Here the precursor for the synthesis of cholesterol is acetyl coenzyme, right? So this is the acetyl coenzyme, so which is acting as a precursor for synthesis of cholesterol. So not only acetyl coenzyme A, there is another substance is also there, that is acetoacetyl coenzyme A. So this is also a precursor for the formation of cholesterol. Acetoacetyl coenzyme A. So here the final product is cholesterol in the cholesterol synthesis, but many intermediates are there in this pathway, and these intermediates are very much helpful for the body. Why? Because many vitamins will be produced from these intermediates. For example, malonate. Malonate is an intermediate, so which is useful for the formation of vitamin A and vitamin K and coenzyme Q. Write down. So malonate is a precursor for the formation of vitamin A, vitamin K, and coenzyme Q. In the same way here, the 7-hydrocholesterol, which is also one intermediate in cholesterol formation. So which is also very essential for formation of vitamin D3, right? And we have HMG coenzyme A, phenycyl, PP, squalene. These are also very much important intermediates for many other biosynthetic processes, right? But in which HMG coenzyme A reductase. So this is an enzyme which is very much important in cholesterol synthesis. Why? Because HMG coenzyme A reductase is a key enzyme. This is called a regulatory enzyme. So we can regulate the formation of cholesterol by this enzyme, right? So the HMG coenzyme A is a regulatory or rate limiting enzyme, right? Okay, so we don't have this topic in our syllabus, so that's why I'm not going in detail, right? So we need to know about these intermediates and precursor and the final products. Okay, so this information is enough for our syllabus. Okay, right. So next one is, so how this cholesterol will be used. So how this cholesterol will be degraded and forming other compounds. Okay, so here the cholesterol will be oxidized and forming bile acids. So here we can see two bile acids. So one is cholic acid and the second one is cholic acid. These are bile acids, right? So we can call it as primary bile acids. Write down primary bile acids. So cholesterol will be oxidized and forming primary bile acids. Okay. So where it is occurred. So it is occurred in liver. It is occurred in liver. That means cholesterol will be getting converted into primary bile acids in the liver, right? So how it is converted? So here the cholesterol will be oxidized in the presence of 7 alpha hydroxylase enzyme. 7 alpha hydroxylase enzyme. Here the cholesterol will be getting oxidized and converting into 7 hydroxy cholesterol, right? So now this 7 hydroxy cholesterol will be involving in many steps and finally forming primary bile acids. Okay. So these bile acids, the content of these bile acids will be very large. So it is available in the large quantity in total bile acids. Why? Because we have secondary bile acids. Okay, we have secondary bile acids and also primary bile acids, but primary bile acids are taking more amount. So that means it is consisting of 80% of primary bile acids are present in the bile acids, right? So here, when cholesterol is converting into 7 hydroxy cholesterol, so this is the enzyme that is involved, which is a regulatory enzyme. 7 alpha hydroxylase is a regulatory enzyme, which is also called as rate limiting enzyme, right? So when excess amount of bile acids are formed, so which is also inhibiting 7 alpha hydroxylase. Why? Because when excess concentration of cholic acid and cholic acid is produced in the liver cells, so which will be inhibiting the enzyme activity of 7 alpha hydroxylase, so that finally, so it prevents or it inhibits the conversion of cholesterol to 7 hydroxy cholesterol, so that it prevents the formation of bile acids, right? Okay, so now these bile acids, primary bile acids, will be conjugated with with different amino acids. For example, cholic acid is conjugated with glycine amino acid, then it is converting into a conjugated bile acid that is called glycocholic acid. So glycocholic acid is a conjugated bile acid, so in which glycine is present. So glycine is an amino acid. In the same way, cholic acid is conjugated with taurine and forming taurocholic acid. Okay, so these two are conjugated bile acids. So in the same way here, taurine or glycine so will be conjugated with chenodeoxycholic acid and forming a conjugated bile acid that is called taro or glycochenodeoxy acid, right? So that means the primary bile acids gets converted into a conjugated bile acids, right? So now these conjugated bile acids in the presence of intestinal bacteria. Why? Because your cholesterol so is mainly present in intestine and liver. So intestinal bacteria, due to presence of intestinal bacteria, so what happens, this conjugated bile acids are getting deconjugated. So this is the deconjugation reaction. So that means glycines and taurines will be separated, right? And it is again converting into deoxycholic acid, right? So initially bile acids will be conjugated. In the next step, so bile acids will be deconjugated in the presence of intestinal bacteria. So it is occurred in small intestine and it is finally converting into deoxycholic acid, which doesn't have glycine and taurine, right? So this is deconjugation. In the same way here also, so taro or glycochenodeoxycholic acid, which is a conjugated bile acid, so which gets deconjugated in the presence of intestinal bacteria and finally forming lithocholic acid, right? So here deoxycholic acid and lithocholic acid, so these two are called to be a secondary bile acids. Secondary bile acids, right? So primary bile acids will be cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid, and secondary bile acids will be deoxycholic acid and lithocholic acid, right? So in between these primary and secondary, there will be conjugated bile acids will be there, and these conjugated bile acids are always present in the form of salts, right? So why? Because here sodium and potassium ions are present in this conjugated bile acids, so it is available always in the form of salts. So that's why, so these conjugated these conjugated bile acids are converting into bile salts in the presence of salts such as sodium and potassium. So that means potassium or sodium is forming a complex with conjugated bile acids and forming bile salts. For example, sodium tarocholate, potassium tarocholate. So these are the salts, right? So that means conjugated bile acid is converting into salt form. And what is the use of that salt form? Here, these bile salts are very essential for solubilizing the cholesterol. That means cholesterol will be in soluble form. So when there is a salts, Why? Because salts are water soluble. If salts are absent in the liver cells, right? So what happened? So here cholesterol is always waxy substance. So it is not available in the form of fluid, so liquid form. It will not convert into liquid form absence when there is an absence of salts. So that's why these salts are very much essential for maintaining the liquidity of cholesterol. So cholesterol is available in the form of liquid due to presence of these bile salts. But what happens sometimes due to lack of these bile salts, so here cholesterol crystals will be formed. Cholesterol crystals will be formed, and that condition is called to be cholelithiasis. Write down cholelithiasis. 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 So which is also called as cholesterol gallstone disease. Cholesterol gallstone disease. Okay, so that means stones will be formed. Okay, gallstones will be formed. So due to presence of a cholesterol crystals, right? So this is about a degradation of cholesterol. So cholesterol will be degraded into bile acids, primary bile acids, secondary bile acids, and conjugated bile acids. But these conjugated bile acids are converting into bile salts, so which will be allowing the cholesterol in the liquid form, right? So this is about degradation of cholesterol into bile acids. So next one. So cholesterol is also degraded into steroidal hormone. So these are all steroidal hormones. Okay, pregnenolone, progesterone, cortisol, aldosterone, estradiol. Okay, so cholesterol is the precursor for the formation of all steroidal hormones. So cholesterol, which consists of 27 carbon, so which has a steroidal nucleus. It consists of many ring structures, and by several reactions, so this cholesterol gets converted into pregnenolone, that is 21 carbon steroidal hormone, progesterone, which is also 21 carbon steroidal hormone. Then this is a precursor for the formation of three more steroid hormone, that is cortisol, aldosterone, and estradiol. Right? So that means the cholesterol will be degraded into bile acids. The cholesterol will be degraded into steroidal hormones, right? And also cholesterol will be used for the formation of vitamin D3, right? So as we have seen already in synthesis of cholesterol, so 7-dehydroxy cholesterol is formed as intermediate. So it is an intermediate which is formed in the synthesis of cholesterol. So which is present in the skin. Okay, so this compound is present in the skin. So when there is an UV rays, so due to this energy, UV rays energy, so here 7-dehydroxy cholesterol gets converted into vitamin D3. So which is also called as cholecalciferol. Okay, so vitamin D3, so which is available in the skin. Okay, so why? Because so due to this sunlight, so due to this energy, 7-dehydroxy cholesterol gets converted into vitamin D3, right? So now this vitamin D3 so is entering into the liver cells, right? And it is converting into 25 hydroxy cholecalciferol, so which is also called as 25 hydroxy vitamin D, right? Then it is entering into the kidneys, and it is converting into 121 comma 25 dihydroxy cholecalciferol, so which is also called as 1 comma 25 dihydroxy vitamin D. and now it is finally activated. So vitamin D is finally activated in the kidney region. Okay, so initially, so vitamin D3 so will be synthesized in the skin region, but it is not activated form, it is inactivated form, but it gets activated in the kidneys finally. Okay, so this whole process is occurred in three different regions: skin, liver, and kidneys. So for the formation of vitamin D3 or activated form of vitamin D, so we required the precursor, that is 7 dehydroxy cholesterol, so which is an intermediate in the cholesterol synthesis, right? So this is about cholesterol, so which is present in the cell membrane. Okay, so which maintains the cell integrity, and which gets synthesized from acetyl coenzyme A as well as acetyl coenzyme A, and many intermediates will be produced so during this synthesis, and these intermediates will be useful as precursors for the many biosynthetic processes, and oxidized into cholesterol will be oxidized into bile acids, and cholesterol also degraded into steroidal hormones, and cholesterol is also useful for formation of vitamin D in our body, right? So this is about cholesterol synthesis.